learners, welcome to this online session. Today we'll be talking about supplementary feeding programs. This topic is part of the certificate program in food and nutrition, course 3, Economics of Food, and it is part of block 2, unit 7. I'm Deeksha Kapoor from the discipline of nutritional sciences, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So learners, you recall studying about malnutrition and health in course 2? We learned that undernutrition due to inadequate food intake is prevalent among large population groups in our country, and mainly the children and women are the vulnerable section. National nutrition surveys reveal that large percentage of households consume food which is inadequate to meet their requirement of either energy or protein or both. Therefore, malnutrition is prevalent and primarily due to lack of inadequate food, and also it may be due to lack of nutrition knowledge. So, in an effort to ensure proper nutrition to the children and women in the society, in both urban and rural areas, the government at both the center and the state level have taken up special feeding programs, and these programs are designed to provide educational and health benefits to vulnerable sections such as children and women. Therefore, today in this presentation, we will focus on these food supplementation programs. What are the objectives and need for food supplementation? What is the origin and operation of some important feeding programs in our country? So, what is the objectives of these feeding programs? Let's start here. The main objective of these feeding programs is to improve the nutritional status of the community. Well, it is to supplement the diet of these vulnerable sections of the community to combat undernutrition. It is also to educate the community for combating and preventing malnutrition. Further, it extends to increasing school enrollment and attendance of children, and it encourages the use of local commodities for prevention of malnutrition. So with these objectives, these feeding programs have been initiated, about which we will learn now. But why do we need the food supplement? Let us consider. As per the 2011 census, children 0 to 6 years constitute 30% of the total population. Therefore, the newborn and child health is crucial, and it is essential to have some yardsticks to measure the nutritional status of this group. We have already learned about the direct methods of nutritional status assessment like anthropometry, biochemical assessment, clinical assessment, diet surveys. But one indirect method to know the nutritional status of the community is to assess the infant mortality rate. What is the infant mortality rate? It is the number of deaths per 1,000 live birth of children under 1 year of age, and it is an important indicator to assess nutritional status. In 2019, the IMR in India was about 28.3 deaths per 1,000 live births. Well, this is high as compared to other developed and developing countries, but you would see that there has been a significant decrease from the previous years, and majority of the infant mortality occurs during the neonatal stage, that is before the baby reaches 28 days of age. And what is the cause of infant mortality? Well, one main cause is maternal malnutrition. Inadequate nutrition during pregnancy and lactation is the main cause. Therefore, supplementation of foods rich in energy and protein would go a long way to prevent malnutrition. And let us understand this in terms of the need for supplementation further as the child goes. The other indicator which is used is the preschool mortality, what we call as the under 5 mortality rate. The under 5 mortality rate is the probability for a child to die before reaching the age of 5. This also measures child health and survival and is expressed as the number of deaths per 1,000 live births. What was the under 5 mortality rate in India? As per the 2018 data, 36 per 1,000 live birth. And what is not acceptable is the fact that 44% of the under 5 mortality takes place within the first 7 days of birth, about 58% takes place within first month of birth, and approximately 87% of under 5 mortality is within 1 year of birth. And what are the causes? Well, inadequate intake and poor quality of food consumed provided to the child. In fact, the infant and young child feeding practices overall have remained suboptimal over the years. You may recall studying about the child feeding practices earlier in course 2. What do we see? What do the data for the country show? The latest 2016-18, the Comprehensive National Nutrition Surveys shows that breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth, which is one recommendation, is 56.6% women only put the child to breast within 1 year. Exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is the other norm. Only 58% practice exclusive breastfeeding. And the third, which is the most important, is the timely initiation of complementary feeding. We know that by 6 months the child should be introduced to other foods other than breast milk, and only about 53% children are given complementary feed at the right age, and breastfeeding is continued for over 1 year. That is being practiced. In fact, it is continued to about 2 years. Therefore, the late introduction of complementary foods causes growth retardation and deficiency symptoms, which is reflected in the poor mortality rates we have just seen. Therefore, these two indicators, the IMR and the under 5 mortality rate, are good indicators of child health and survival. And in an effort to ensure proper nutrition to the children and women of the weaker sections of the society in both urban and rural areas, the government at the center and the state level have taken up special feeding programs, and these feeding programs are what we will now take one by one. The first program we will cover is the Integrated Child Development Services Program. Before we take this, it is important to know that there have been many programs which have been initiated for decades now, and here we will not be covering all those. Some are still ongoing and some have been stopped. So here we are focusing on 4 major feeding programs: the Integrated Child Development Services Program, the Midday Meal Program, the Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, and the Rajiv Gandhi Scheme for the Empowerment of Adolescent Girls, the nutrition program for the adolescent girls. So let's get started first with the Integrated Child Development Services Program, or what we call as the ICDS. Well, realizing the various contributing factors for the nutrition problem in the country, for the first time in 1975-76, the government introduced an integrated approach for the welfare of the vulnerable section, and it was launched in 1975-76. This is the biggest intervention program of the government to combat maternal and child undernutrition. It addresses the health, nutrition and development needs of young children, adolescent girls, pregnant nursing mothers across the life cycle, and The ICDS functions through a network of centers called Anganwadis, and the grassroots level worker is called the Anganwadi worker. Therefore, a biggest intervention program is in place. And what are the objectives of the ICDS? The main objective is to improve the nutritional and health status of children in the age group 0 to 6 years, adolescent, and also mothers in the reproductive age group. It lays the foundation for proper psychological, physical, and social development of the child. It helps to reduce the incidence of mortality, morbidity, malnutrition, and school dropout, and achieves effective coordination of policy and implementation among the various departments of the government, since it's an integrated approach. And finally, it enhances the capabilities of the mother to look after the health and nutritional needs of the child through proper nutrition and health education. So keeping these objectives in mind, ICDS was initiated. And who are the beneficiaries of ICDS? The main beneficiary of ICDS program are children below 6 years of age, all pregnant and lactating women, adolescent girls, and all women 15 to 45 years of age in the reproductive age group. They are the main beneficiaries of this program. So what are the services provided? Well, supplementary food or providing supplementary food is one of the major objectives of this program. In addition, health checkups, immunization, growth monitoring, referral services, early childhood care and preschool education, and nutrition and health education is the main service provided. And as we have already informed, all children under 1 year, 1 to 3 years, or 3 to 6 years get covered for the different services. Adolescent girls are involved or covered in this program. Pregnant women, nursing mothers, and all women in the reproductive age group 15 to 45 years are beneficiaries of this program. Here we will focus basically on the supplementary feeding component of the program. So what is the feeding norm under the ICDS program? Well, under this, all children 6 months to 72 months, that is till 6 years of age, 0 to 6 months to 6 years of age, all children are provided a food supplement. And this food supplement which is given provides roughly 500 kilocalories and 12 to 15 grams of protein. This food or supplement is in addition to what the child may be eating at home. So it supplements the normal diet of the child. For severely malnourished children who have been detected within the Anganwadi center, different norms have been put in place. They need to be provided more food. Therefore, the food supplement provided to them provides about 800 kilocalories and 20 to 25 grams of protein, whereas the pregnant women and lactating mother, they are provided 600 kilocalories and 18 to 20 grams of protein. The food supplement which is provided is nutrient dense, so it can be given in the form of hot cooked meal, or it can be a seasonal fruit, maybe eggs, maybe milk, or micronutrient fortified food which is provided through the Anganwadis by the Anganwadi workers. Now, for children under 3 years of age and pregnant and lactating mothers, as I've already informed, energy dense take home rations in the form of premixes, ready to eat food, fortified food is provided so as to provide these additional calories, proteins which we have just talked about. So this food supplementation is over and above what the mother or the child would eat at home. So therefore, this is the feeding component of the ICDS program. Let us move further to the midday meal program now. The midday meal program was launched in 1995 in both rural and urban areas. The program aims not only to improve the nutritional status of the school children, but also to attract children to school by having a feeding component. The objective was to give a boost to universalization of primary education by increasing enrollment, retention and attendance, and simultaneously impacting upon the nutritional status of students in primary classes. With this objective, here under this program too, a food supplement is provided, and the recommended food amount and nutrient content of the midday meal per day per child is what you see on the screens now. For all children in the primary classes from 1 to 5, one supplement, food supplement containing about 100 gram of cereal, 20 gram of pulse, 50 grams of vegetable and 5 grams of oil is provided, and this contributes about 450 kilocalories and 12 grams of protein. Likewise, for upper primary classes from 6 to 8, a supplement providing 700 kilocalories and 20 grams of protein is provided, and for which the amount of food grains, pulses, vegetables, oils, as you can see, have already been allocated. Here, ready to eat foods may be given, but very often it is the hot cooked food in the form of a upma, khichdi, sabzi, puri, or whatever is the local likes and preferences. A nutritious ready to eat food may also be provided, or cooked food providing the calories, proteins as prescribed is provided under this program. Moving to the Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana, under this program, this was introduced in 2000-2001, and once again the objective was to improve the quality of life of people, especially in the rural areas, and 50% of the allocation under this program was for health, primary education, rural drinking water and nutrition. And the focus was to provide nutritional support to children, particularly from 6 months to 3 years, belonging to below poverty line families. And each beneficiary is provided 75 grams of the complementary food or the weaning food per day as a take-home ration. So, under the take-home ration scheme, the complementary food is provided to children under 3 years of age. The other program I would like to talk about is the nutrition program for the adolescent girls. This gets covered under the Rajiv Gandhi Scheme for Empowerment of the Adolescent Girls, or what we call as SABLA. This is a centrally sponsored scheme implemented in 2011, and the focus was on out-of-school adolescent girls as well, and the aim was at empowering adolescent girls through nutrition, healthcare and life skill education. And therefore, our focus here would be on the nutrition component under the adolescent girl schemes. Of course, the objectives of SABLA was to enable the adolescent girls for self-development and empowerment, to improve their nutritional and health status, promote awareness about health, nutrition, hygiene, and reproductive and sexual health and life skills, in addition to developing vocational skills, mainstreaming out of school adolescent girls into formal, non-formal education, and provide existing public services. In fact, provide information regarding this to the women. So here, let us look at the components. As already informed, there is a nutrition component, nutrition program for the adolescent girls, and the non-nutrition component. Under the nutrition component, all adolescent girls attending Anganwadis 11 to 14 years and all girls 14 to 18 years in the community are provided a food supplement, and this supplement provides about 600 kilocalories and 18 to 20 grams of proteins. It is in the form of a take-home ration, or it can be a hot cooked meal. Along with it, micronutrients may also be provided, and the provision is per day for 300 days in a year. In addition to this, there is the non-nutrition component too, under which nutrition and health education is a very important aspect for improving the nutritional status of adolescent girls. We will, since we are talking about the food supplement programs, we will not take up the others here. We will talk about the IFA supplementation as a non-nutrition component later in the next program. So, as you have seen that this lecture basically focused on food supplementation programs. We reviewed that the nutritional status, the surveys, national surveys have shown that there is inadequacy in the calories, protein intake in large number of households. Therefore, to provide for these inadequacies, to improve the nutritional status of the community, and with special reference to children and mothers, the government has implemented supplementary feeding programs so as to provide for that extra calories, proteins, the gap which is seen in their usual intake. So, in this session, we reviewed some of these supplementary feeding programs, and along with these supplementary feeding programs, the nutrition education is an integral part, and this was highlighted. With this, we end our session today. Hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you.